Hello everyone from the McDonald's parking lot. So I just got food here, and before I chow into what I'm going to eat, I want to talk a little bit about calorie balance, hormones, basically your energy levels and how they all relate to calories. So oftentimes you'll hear of new diets. Really popular ones is low carb, high fat, ketogenic diet, paleo diet. These are really popular right now because they proclaim to help you burn fat better and regulate hormones and keep you healthier. This is simply not true. The only way that these could potentially work better are through calorie restriction. So sometimes when you embark on one of these diets, you will end up eating less calories. That's what happens very frequently. And the only way your hormones, improve is because you're actually eating less and losing weight. Key here, if you want more energy, if you want your hormone levels to be regulated better, lose weight. Just you gotta lose weight. And primarily you want to lose fat. So the only proven way to really do this is through calorie restriction. So for all intents and purposes, you don't want to be eating McDonald's. You don't want to be eating, these foods, not because they're inherently bad for you, but because they're very calorically dense. Now, some of them aren't. So not to demonize all of McDonald's, but this Egg McMuffin here, it's got 12 grams of fat, 30 grams of carbohydrates, and 18 or 16 grams of protein. That's actually not bad. But for people who need to lose weight, you're going to want to eat, say, clean, which is really just eating foods that are very sparse in terms of calories. So you'll see very low carbohydrate counts in vegetables and fruits. And if I'm going to recommend anything to anyone who wants to lose weight, just limit carbohydrates to 100, keep protein at 1 gram per pound body weight, and fat at what you normally do, and you're going to lose weight. You will lose weight. Now, to do that, you're going to have to eat a bunch of veggies and fruits, actually maybe even less fruits, because fruits kind of can be high in carbohydrates, so a lot of veggies, and you'll stay full. A big key to this is staying full, because your body wants to work against you from an energy standpoint. If you're hungry, it'll send signals to you that you need to eat, and then when you need to eat, you just have to eat sugar, which will quickly satisfy that urge. So 100 grams of carbohydrates. Once you get to the point where you've lost another weight, that you have healthy body fat, you feel better, then you can eat the fun stuff like McDonald's. You can go to Taco Bell like I do probably too often. And that really won't have an impact on your overall health. I probably eat fast food 3-4 times a week, but that has no impact on my health, really, because I'm in a balanced diet with a good calorie intake for me. Now, what I eat isn't going to be good for everybody else, but you kind of have to work that out on your own. So the main thing here is if you want to have optimal hormone levels, lose weight. If you want more energy, lose weight. You want to feel better, be less injury prone, lose weight. You want to have more mental clarity, lose weight. How are you going to do this? All of it is through calorie restriction. Every single diet, every single product that actually works well with weight loss, every single one does it because they limit calories. And this could be through, satiating foods. Like the one I work on, ProFiber, has 16 grams of fiber per serving and also have 20 grams of protein. So those two ingredients right there, or those two nutrients, fiber and protein, are the most satisfying, the most satiating ingredients you can possibly have. You increase those, the likelihood of you losing weight are great, and on top of that, you're going to be improving the gut's microbiota, feeding the good bacteria, and improving muscle protein synthesis, which is going to help you lose fat and build muscle easier. So, bottom line, restrict your calories, and then you'll be better at essentially everything. So I just remembered a very relatable study to what I'm talking about that I read just a couple days ago, and it discussed remission of diabetes for people who were type 2 diabetic within the context of weight management. So the study itself, wasn't entirely mind-boggling, but the caloric deficit that these people were in was insane to me and for the time period that they were in. So the concept of you managing your diabetes through caloric restriction isn't new. But these people, it's crazy to me. These people went on a diet of like 880 calories a day for, I think it was 56 weeks. So for over a year, these people ate less than half, the recommended caloric intake per day for an entire year. And what they found was the more weight you lost, the less incidence of diabetes that group of people had. The study was done with somewhere like around 300 people, and there was an extremely high correlation between weight loss and HbA1c level. So if you lost, I think it was like 13 pounds, the HbA1c, which is a measurement of blood glucose over a period of 3 months, the HbA1c was dramatically reduced. And this was within the context of people who were diabetic, had been diabetic for somewhere around, under 6 years, so a decently long time. And all they did was restrict calories, and boom. It's like their diabetes was gone. And they did control what type of calories, but I'm assuming if they had done, say, any type of macronutrient, it wouldn't have really mattered much. So I think I'm going to get into the study because I want to tell you guys about who did it and the methodology behind it, because I don't think people should quote a study without discussing who did it. So I'm going to get into that in a second. Okay, so for fear of sounding like one of those people who says, oh, I recently found in a study, and they don't back up where and how it was done, always be a little doubtful, because anyone can say that. So this study, I'm reading a summary, just to let you know, is from the University of Glasgow in Scotland, and done by Michael E. J. Lean. It's an MD, and this is also in conjunction with the Diabetes Remission Clinical Trial. So this study found that remission of type 2 diabetes was more prevalent among those who lost more weight across participants. So this actually was done with, I believe, 306 people ages 20 to 65 who had type 2 diabetes for a maximum of 6 years. Could it be possible that if you have had diabetes longer than 6 years, it could be more difficult? Sure. But they didn't place people who had it for a certain year, like say 4 to 6 in one group. It was all mixed. So the baseline BMI, so this is essentially your how much fat you have, between 27 and 45. And people did not use insulin, and they did not have an HbA1c of 12% or higher. That's really high. Okay, so yes, so I'm just backing that up. Done in a university setting, and so you see they had a total diet replacement of 825 to 853 calories per day, and the diet was what's recommended in all health circles essentially. This is 59% carbohydrates, 13% fat. That's actually a tad bit low. 26% fiber or protein and 2% fiber. So I want to reiterate, heavy on carbohydrates because those are satiating and they're the best source of energy because they're not as high in calories as fat. Every gram of carbohydrates has 4 calories. Every gram of fat has 9, so over double. 26% protein, that can probably account for 1 gram of protein per pound body weight. So, or come close, that's really good. And 2% fiber, that means I think it's like 16 grams of fiber. So ideally you want more, but when you have a diet that's only 853 calories, it's hard to get that much. So relatively speaking, that's appropriate because in a 2,000 calorie diet, you want 30 grams of fiber. So for something that's less than half of that, 16 is appropriate. So yeah, that's the study. I just wanted to back that up because I am not one of those people who cannot back up what I say. And there are so many more interventions like this, where if you reduce calories, your glucose levels are going to improve. You're going to be less hypertensive. Your cholesterol is going to go down, and your LDL is going to go down. Your HDL is going to improve. What they're finding is it's more so about the ratio of cholesterol, more so than total cholesterol. What you want is a high HDL, low LDL. And of course, you're going to lose weight. So there's some proof. There's plenty more studies about it. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. One more thing. For those people who might say, oh, financial ties or some BS like that, please go take off your tinfoil hat. If you don't know what that means, look up tinfoil hat theory, and please just stop being dumb, okay? The people who got into research aren't in research so that they can take all these financial benefits and have these great financial relationships. They're here because they're genuinely interested in whatever they're studying. Otherwise, they wouldn't spend 8 years trying to get there and 90% of their time looking at very dull statistics to find something like this. So please consider what you're saying when you're saying they're bought out, okay? You're not in a position to be saying that. Thank you.